Hi, welcome to my Learn Japanese lesson number 36. In this lesson, I will discuss examples of the verbs in the they form and their use in joining sentences. In the previous lesson, we considered many uses of the they form. We saw how it is used for stringing together multiple verbs. A similar means of stringing together multiple sentences is also possible when these sentences share a common context and are about related sequential occurrences. I will start with the two very simple sentences. The first sentence is Kuko e itte kudasai. We saw this sentence in the previous lesson. It means please go to the airport. Kuko being the word for the airport. Kippu o katte kudasai is the next sentence. Kippu means ticket. Katte is the they form of kaimasu. Kavu is the plain present form meaning to buy. This is a group 1 verb. It ends with two vowels. So the they form is formed by removing the last vowel and adding itte, tte. Kippu o katte kudasai means please buy ticket. These two sentences are meant to be in a chronological sequence. Please go to the airport. Please buy ticket. So they can be combined to mean please go to the airport and buy ticket. Kuko e itte kippu o katte kudasai means just that. The first of the verb took the they form. The second also took the they form in this example because it is in the request form followed by kudasai. Otherwise, the second verb should have been in the other full forms. Let us see a little more elaborate sentence pattern. In this slide, I will dwell on the first of the next pair of sentences to be combined. Kishi-san wa maiban nomiya e ikimasu. The verb here is ikimasu. Iku is the plain form verb. Iku means to go. It is a group 1 verb. As per the conjugation rules in a group 1 verb, we have to remove the ku and add ite, ite to form the they form. By that rule, the they form of iku should have been ite, but it is itte by exception. Group 3 verbs are the ones which are supposed to be irregular, implying the other two groups are regular. But this verb in group 1 seems to have just one exception and has still been categorized as group 1. Itte is also the they form of another verb, you. You means to say. Imasu, itte, imashita, and itta are the conjugated forms. You know the patterns by now. To make the distinction between similar they forms and ta forms, the conjugated forms of you are also referred to as yutte and yutta. Nomiya is a bar. Ya is a specialized shop selling just one commodity. Nomu is to drink. Nomi is the masu base of nomimasu. We have seen in an earlier lesson that masu base is a noun form. Nomi plus ya became nomiya, the drink shop. So it is the bar. The meaning of the above sentence must be obvious to you. We have seen the other words and structural elements earlier. Maiban is every evening. Kishi-san is the subject, marked by the subject marker wa. Ikimasu is a non-transitive verb, and as we have no particle o, ikimasu means to go, a verb that requires a directional indication. Nomiya is the place to which the subject goes, as it is followed by the destination marker a. We just completed the discussion on the first sentence. Now let's go to the second sentence. Nomiya de osake o takusan nomimasu. We know nomimasu, takusan, nomiya, etc. Osake is the same as sake, the rice wine. Don't confuse this with Osaka, which is a city. Osake is an expression for sake with a o prefix. We have seen earlier that some things are revered by prefixing with o and some other words are cleansed by prefixing with O. The particle they after nomia indicates that it is the location where the action referred by the verb took place. Nomu means to drink. Nomimas is the masu form. Nonde is the te form. Nomimashta is the polite past tense. Nonda is the plain past tense. The meaning after transposition of phrases is drinks a lot of sake at the bar. Let us now do what this lesson was all about. Combining sentences. The two sentences are sequential. The first says the subject goes to the bar every day. The second says the subject drinks a lot of rice wine at the bar. Combining the two sentences, we get Kishi-san wa maiban nomiyae itte osake wo taksan nomimasu. The first verb took the te form for enabling continuation. The phrase nomiya de in the second sentence got dropped as the first sentence implies it. That is all we had to do. The combined sentence means Mr. Kishi goes to the bar every day and drinks a lot of sake. Easy, isn't it? Whenever a sentence encounters the masu form, it ends immediately. The te form enables it to continue. Let us look at one more example. This is as much to reinforce the logic as to show a variant. We now join two sentences of the past tense. Here is the first sentence. Kimura-san wa sashin wo tashimashita. Dasu is the plain form verb here. It means to take out. Here is a situation where Kimura-san has some photographs or documents with him, maybe in his shirt pocket or in his briefcase or wherever, and he takes out a photograph. The verb to take out pertains to this action of pulling out a photograph. Dashimasu is the polite present form. Dashite will be the te form. Dashita will be the plain past tense. Dashimashita is the polite past tense. So, took out is the right translation because this is in the past tense. What is it he took out? The object marker O shows Shashin. This is the object. Sashin means photograph. Mr. Kimura took out a photograph. A photograph of some photographs is not clear here. As you know, singular and plural are not differentiated in Japanese. Let us now move over to the next sentence. Sashin wo Nakamura-san ni misemashita. Miseru is another familiar verb we have seen in the previous lessons. It means to show. Misemasu is the present tense. Misemashita is the past tense. Misette is the te form. Misetta is the plain past tense. Verb is misemashita. That means showed. Showed what? Shashin. The object marker O comes after Shashin. What else do we have here? Nakamura-san ni. Ni is the particle meaning to. So the photograph was shown to Mr. Nakamura. The sentence means showed photographs to Mr. Nakamura. Combining the sentences, we would say Mr. Kimura took out the photographs and showed to Mr. Nakamura. There are two actions, taking out and showing. In Japanese, this sentence would be Kimura-san wa sashin wo dashite Nakamura-san ni misemashita. The verb ending in the first sentence was changed to the te form. The common link sashin was dropped from the second sentence. That is how the combination took place. As a matter of caution, I would like to emphasize we still use just the te form irrespective of the present or past tense. Just because the ta form is a variant of the te form, do not get confused with any idea that in the first sentence the polite past tense should be changed to the ta form instead of the te form. If we had been combining two plain form sentences, both of them would have ended with the ta form, and in this situation also, on combining them, the ta form of the first sentence would have changed to te form. If we had the first sentence ending with this, then what could we do? The te form of this can be considered as they. So that conversion can be used for the combination. There are some more ways of joining sentences. Here is one which does not involve the they form. I am discussing this because we are on the subject of joining sentences. This generally involves two sentences, the first of which sets the context for the second. Let us look at such an example. Kesa watashi wa Ramu-san ni aimashita. Hito wa shinshutsu na hito desu ne. Kesa means this morning. Au means to meet. Aimasu is the masu form. Aimashita is the past tense meaning met. Shinsetsu means kind, a cordial. This is a foreign adjective. Hence we say shinsetsu na. The two sentences are about meeting Mr. Ram and finding him kind or cordial. These are combined to form Kesa Ramu-san ni aimashita ga shinsetsu desu ne. The first sentence had aimashita as the verb. This is a non-transitive verb. Who did I meet? Ramu-san, as indicated by the particle ni. The second sentence is about Ramu-san again. So Ramu-san is the common link. The second sentence is not about another action verb. It's an observation. If it had been about a consequent action, we could have used the they form as seen earlier. In such cases, ga is used as the joiner. Kesa Ramu-san ni aimashita ga shinshutsu desu ne is the way the expression goes. After using the first sentence as is, we add ga to it. In the second sentence, the common link anohito is dropped. Anohito was not present in the first sentence, but it referred to Ram-san. Thus, it became the common link. The meaning of the combined sentence can be seen as equivalent to, I met Mr. Ram this morning. Isn't he kind? Ga also means but. Let us see some examples. Sowmyan ga watayarai wa dochira desu ka? Excuse me, but which way is the hand wash, please? This can be seen as joining two sentences, the first being Sowmyan and the second being watayarai wa dochira desu ka. Ga was used to join the two. The next example is Zenbu tabemashita ga oishiku arimasen deshita. Zenbu means total, everything. Tabemashita means ate. He ate everything. Ga is being dragged here, extended and dragged. This takes the place of but when followed by a negative sentence. Oishi is the adjective meaning delicious. Oishiku arimasen is the negative form of adjective oishi. It was obtained by appending ku arimasen in the place of the last I in the adjective. I ate everything, but it was not delicious. Ga with a drag is also used with no sentence following it. In this case, the second sentence is implied. The implied sentence follows the first sentence and has a negative connotation. Let us look at the example. Yoku sagashimashita ga. Yoku means well. Sagasu is to search. It's a group 1 verb. Sagashimasu is the polite present. Sagashimashita is the polite past tense. Sagashite is the te form. And sagashita is the plain past. This means I searched well, but what is the meaning? Obviously, but connotes a negative of the implied sentence. The expected outcome was just not there. The person who searched could not find whatever he searched for. So this kind of use, where the second sentence is clearly implied and with a negative connotation, can use ga. Let us now recollect what we learnt in this lesson. The te form verb was used for connecting sentences. The sentences were related in some way. The verb ending of the first sentence was changed to the te form and the second sentence was appended to it without repeating the common phrase linking the two. This could be used for both the present tense as well as the past tense. We also saw examples of joining sentences with ga. In one kind, the first sentence set the context for the second, but the second was not related to action. So instead of te form, we use ga after the first sentence. In another context, ga was used with the meaning of but. This application was typically to sentences implying negative outcome in the second sentence with respect to the objective indicated in the first sentence. In such application, the ga was used with a drag. One can even leave out the second sentence when it is obvious and very clearly implied. It can be left to the imagination of the listener. That brings us to the end of yet another lesson, the lesson number 36. I may have another 7 or 8 lessons to post to complete the major part of my objective. I hope to complete them in the next 2 months. To watch the entire series, go to my channel Avid Reader 100 on YouTube. To get alerts on new posts, subscribe to my channel. Deva, Mata, Gambatta Kudasai.